Hello my friends, in today's video we're going to look at my top 5 favorite Acropora under a wider spectrum. And these are acros that I actually own, or acros that I have owned in the past. Now bear in mind, I'm never going to pick a frag when I'm doing a list like this, because a frag is only a tiny picture. It's only a tiny piece of the puzzle of what a acro is gonna look like, especially once it reaches that colony size. And the other thing is, this isn't like a top 10 all-time favorite acros. This is acros based on my eyes that I see in real life and what I think. Okay, and the other thing is, this is kind of different than the videos I normally produce. But this is something I'm very interested in. I already have some ideas for some other top 5s. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to participate, pause this video, let me know in the comments below, list out your top 3 or top 5 favorite acros in your tank. Acros that you own, acros that you've seen with your own eyes and have decided this is a 10. And when I say 10, I mean 10 out of 10. Not 10 out of 100, like 10 out of 10. It's an awesome acro. And real quickly, before we get to the content, if you're new to this is a channel all about reefing. And if you are into saltwater aquariums or the aquarium hobby in general, please do a fellow hobbyist a solid and hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. And also hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. Coming in at number 5, we have the Strawberry Shortcake. My specimen of this acro is characterized with an almost minty green skin with bright pink axial and radial correlates. When it is really happy, you get really nice long polyp extension as well. The color combination provides that great contrast, and both colors pop both under white lights and blue LEDs. The growth pattern is pleasing to my eyes. I like acros that table out or that grow horizontally and shoot up a bunch of parallel branches straight up. As you can see, my colony has a lot of horizontal growth. Now, I'm not sure if that growth pattern was affected by the amount of surface area I provided the frag to encrust over. If you're interested in that, check out my video on whether I am the fastest Acropora grower, which is not what I think at all. However, that video shows the growth from when I bought a few small branches to what it looks like today. The only downside with this acro is that it is a more difficult piece. I don't recommend anyone with a tank that hasn't been established for over a year try this piece. From personal experience, this is one acro that is more sensitive. You can see from my colony that it browned out after a couple stress events last year, and it is still working its way back to its former glory. At number 4, we have the Reef Raft Kanda Godzilla. This is an understated piece. It is almost a pastel green, with all its correlates being a mix of pink, orange, and light brown. And when I say that, I mean all those colors being combined together. Its polyps have a pink hue, and when it's really happy, it can get really shaggy. Its coloration has been getting stronger by the day since I started to dose nitrates. If any of you have low to undetectable nitrates, you should check out my nitrate video which I posted last week, as it may help you with all your coral. Again, we have a nice tabling growth pattern which makes my eyes happy. I don't know what it is about this piece, but my eyes are always drawn to it when I'm checking out the tank, and it's odd, because it doesn't have the brightest coloration or brightest fluorescence, but it just makes me happy. At number 3, we have the ORA Pearlberry. The skin of the Pearlberry ranges from a greener tone on its older parts of the acro to an ice blue tone in the newer growth. Only the radial correlates show the lavender purple coloration. The contrast between all 3 colors makes this a really special piece. It is not my favorite under blues. I would say if you're gonna get a Pearlberry, you'll probably appreciate it more if you're able to observe it under a wider spectrum. The growth pattern is different than the first two. It is much more branchy, if that is a word. It will be interesting to see what the colony looks like once this piece gets to a colony size. At number 2, we have lavender unicorn bunnies. So I made this name up for fun a couple months ago in a video, and then I started receiving messages from local reefers wanting a frag. So I guess the name has to stay now. This acro is characterized with a body that ranges from green to a cream color, from the tips of each branch to about a centimeter below the tip. And for those of you who are American, a centimeter is probably a little less than half an inch. So from the tip of the branch to about half an inch below the tip, it is a lavender color. So if you follow my channel, this is currently my favorite Acropora. The growth pattern is very pleasing to me. Really nice, tight branching pattern. It reminds me of pictures I see of the reefs. When you see these huge acro colonies and they're just huge circles with branches sprouting up in a uniform pattern. You'll notice I did recently frag it, and I fragged the section that was shading the lower branches. So finally, at number 1, the only pink lemonade. Now, unfortunately, I did lose my colony after the tank move back in August or September of last year. The pink lemonade is characterized with a yellow or yellowy white skin and pink polyps. Hence, the name is very fitting for this acro. If you check out my older tank update videos, you'll see when it's happy, those polyps extend really far, which I love. And they are just the coloration. It's very pleasing, either under a wider spectrum or under actinics. You'll be super happy with it. Furthermore, it had a tight branching growth pattern. All the branches grew parallel upwards. And again, this is the type of growth pattern I really like, and it just really makes me happy. Whenever I look at old pictures and come across the pink lemonade, it still makes me really sad. Hopefully, I will be able to get another frag this year. I have a couple honorable mentions that I was really struggling with while compiling this list. The first one is the Oregon Tort. Now, this is the absolute bluest Acropora I have ever seen. It is so freaking blue, it almost glows blue. And it is so blue that even under blue LEDs, you can tell that it is a blue coral. So why didn't it make the cut? For me personally, it's all about the growth pattern. It's got a really haphazard way of growing, which really isn't very satisfying for me. As you can tell, mine just looks like a big stump, and I've seen other examples online of similar type of stumpy growth patterns. Not really my thing in terms of growth pattern, but in terms of blue, I mean, blue's either my favorite color or second favorite color. The coloration on it is just out of this world. Oregon Tort has been around for a long time. I'm sure you can get a frag for not very much money, and that's definitely one I would recommend. The second honorable mention is the Bali Green Slimer. I love the Bali Green Slimer. It is an absolute classic. If you look at pictures of older reef tanks, oftentimes you will find the Bali Green Slimer growing in it. It has these huge towering green branches with the same color polyps. So the entire coral has the same shade of, I would say, a golf grass green. And if you're wondering why I have it in the back, kind of hidden, I purposely put it back there with the hope that its branches will erupt from out of nowhere and provide an awesome backdrop for the rest of the tank. You can tell it is already starting to happen. As for the growth pattern, yes, it is haphazard as well. It's got a really random growth pattern, but it's got these huge branches, whereas the Oregon Tort is just, at least my specimen, is just really stumpy. And that's it, my friends. Thank you for watching this video. I realize this list is very different than what most people would expect. However, I didn't feel that it would be fair to make a list based on pictures online that can be easily manipulated. This is a much more honest take on what my current top 5 acros under a wider spectrum are. If you haven't done so already, please take a minute to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. As always, take care and I'll see you guys next week.